Hey y'all, this is Courtney, and I am going to do a quick little garden tour this evening. Getting ready to fertilize my garden, but I thought before I did that, I would do a quick tour before it gets a whole lot darker and I lose a little bit of light. It's been a hot minute since I have done a little garden tour, so I decided maybe I should actually do one. So we're going to do it. As you can see, everything looks green and lush, and so far things are doing really well. So I'll kind of update you on everything. We've had a lot of rain, and I think that's probably why everything is doing so well. But the green beans are blooming. My squash is now blooming. I've even got some squash going. So these literally have just, these little blossoms have just come open. But if you can see that down there is my scallop squash. One of my scallops, my yellow scallops. That's a white scallop that's blooming, and then my zucchini's got a bunch of flowers. Um, so far on it, I don't see any female blossoms, but on my yellow squash, got a couple little squash down in there. They're small. The flowers have come off of them, so I don't know if they got pollinated or not. To be determined. If they don't end up getting much bigger than that, then we'll say no. Because I don't think there was any male squash flowers. There's another one here. That one might have a chance. And then looks like we've got blossoms over here just about ready to open. So if some of these will open, then I might actually get some squash. There's also a little yellow squash. And then this zucchini is starting to blossom down in there. So anyway, so far, so good on things. I've been just kind of checking. I know, unfortunately, that, yep, there's my first signs of them right there. Let's see if I can get in here and get these off. I knew that this was coming as an unexperienced gardener, but we've got right up here, those are squash bug eggs. So what I am going to have to do is go get some gloves on and see if I can scrape those eggs off, because that means we're going to have squash bugs in here soon. I knew this would happen. And I'm just hoping that I can get a few squash before they get terrible. And I don't know. That's definitely the first signs of them. Yep, here's another one right here. I believe that is a squash bug egg. Maybe that's just a bug. It may not be, but I know that one is for sure. So I'm gonna have to, and I've been trying to come out and look on my leaves, especially the underneath sides, and I hadn't seen anything that looked like evidence of them until tonight. So yay, that's exciting. And I don't know, let's see, which leaf was it? Now I'm gonna have to come back and look. I think it was right up here, this big one. Yep. So I think what you can do is just scrape them off. And I don't know like how that all works, but I think you just come and get the eggs off. So yay. I don't know. And that's a zucchini. So yeah, I don't know. I knew that this would come and that the squash bugs would start appearing. I was just hoping to be able to get a few squash before said squash bugs did come around. But I at least now know that is a squash bug egg. And yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess I'm going to have to really, I think you can do like some organic spinosad. which is a pretty strong spray. I don't think that it maybe overall is like that good. Oh, here's more. There are more right in there. So let's see here. Oops, sorry guys. It's kind of scrapey too. But I think if we just come in here and scrape these off, that maybe they won't survive off of the plant. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But this is going to become a daily chore, because I literally, oh, yep, here's some more right here. So we got those off. Yeah, I know it's going to be inevitable, and all I can do is just try my best to get rid of the eggs when I see them. I knocked them off on the ground, and then I smushed them as best I could. So anyway, there's that. I'm sure I'm missing them because it's hard to get in to every leaf, especially down in. So I'm sure I'm gonna miss some. But there you guys go. That's squash bug eggs, and we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, I'm afraid that the squash bugs they will take over, and I probably will not have. They'll eventually end up killing the squash. So I think next year, and I probably will try to grow some again this fall, but I'm going to probably try, if these, depending on what these do, and if I see that the scallop squash don't attract them as much as the zucchini and yellow squash, then I may just switch over to growing another variety. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that I can get a few zucchini and squash before the squash bugs just descend and start their madness. So, all right, that was the update there. This here's my green bean bed, and we have got blooms everywhere. And I know that I have a few tiny green beans over here that had showed up yesterday. We got this little guy and got that little guy. So we definitely have got some green beans that have started. So before long, I will have green beans for the picking. So I'm pretty excited because green beans look really good so far. And I've got, they're pretty thickly grown. So I'm pretty excited about how they did with the square foot garden method. I'm pretty excited about that. So, and then my potatoes, the update on them is they have bloomed. So they will start to die back now. And once they do, then that means they will be ready for me to harvest. And then I will be able to go in and see my potatoes and see what kind of potato growth we have down in there. So we will see. I did go and spray all these, I don't know, a couple weeks ago now, probably it's been. But I did spray because I was kind of curious to see how they would do. Because I was seeing a little bit of bug damage on them, and I wanted to hopefully kind of protect them a little bit longer. But now that they have bloomed and they're kind of on the downhill side of their cycle, if any kind of pest really gets too excited in there, I'm not going to worry about it if they're eating the green foliage, because what I'm after is the root. So all will be fine on my potatoes. My celery, I've got that. It's growing just slow. We got the cucumber here. I have decided to, I put this over here to trellis, and its little tendrils now have grabbed on. So I was just going to try to keep it trellised on here. We got some blooms down there, so I'm assuming probably before long we'll have some cucumber growth. I'm trying to get it to, hopefully I can get it to trellis on this A-frame trellis. And I got not all, but the majority of my like tomato cages and these trellises, these A-frame trellises, I got from Gardener Supply. I ordered them. They have them on their website. Sometimes they'll have them on Amazon. Sometimes they sell out on Amazon. So sometimes I just have to buy them from their actual website. But I love their stuff. It is. I bought their tomato cages last year, and they did super fantastic for me last fall when I was growing my tomatoes. And their stuff is just really high quality. And so definitely highly recommend the Gardener Supply stuff. And what I love about everything is that it just folds up and folds flat, which is wonderful. So I am all about that. These are my kohlrabis over here. Haven't got any kind of what looks like bulbing up or anything, so I don't know. We got the purple kind and a white kohlrabi, so we'll just see how these do. Then I have my Brussels sprouts back here. Again, I don't anticipate that these really will do anything and make, but they might. So I'm just letting them go, see what happens. They might put on some Brussels sprouts, they might not. To be determined. We have got some cabbage in here, and we definitely have got some probably cabbage worms. We got some bug damage on those, mostly this one. And that may even be a squash bug egg. I don't know what that is, but definitely we've got, and I haven't seen any worms in here. I need to get my BT because the BT spray would help, because you can spray it on here, and then that would help with any when they eat the leaves, then it will kill the worms. So I need to get the BT, definitely. We've got, looks like some blossoms on my cantaloupe, so that's yay. Yeah, there's blooming, so I don't know if we'll have fruit. I've never grown cantaloupe, so this is an experience. I'm just trying to get it to sprawl out a little bit. I know they will continue to grow. I probably next year will try to get them growing on a trellis. It's not happening this year because I didn't get that planned out, and I had put these squash through that trellis, and really the squash, they need to grow vertically and not really on the trellis. So I'll probably redo them next year on how I do the trellising on the squash. But for this year, we're going to leave it like it is. We got my Amish paste. I did go ahead and add in some more tomato cages around these little guys as much as I could. And they're all doing great. We got some blooms on that one. I don't know if you can hear that, but that was a coyote going. I live just, I don't know, a couple miles out of the city limits. I don't know if you can hear, but he's a going. They sometimes have been coming out around between 8 and 8:30. I'll hear them out hollering. They kind of get out a little bit early. But there's like to that side of my house, across the street over there, is more open pastures and fields, and so they come up into those areas. Not on my side. They don't ever come up because I got housing back in. I mean, I've got, this looks like not housing, but there's actually a housing addition right in behind these trees, and there's houses on either side of me, and then across from this field, there's a house over there. But mostly, I'm real happy I don't have really close neighbors. So yay, that makes my heart happy for once. And I still live on a paved road, and it's got a lot of traffic on that road. So it's a very busy road. But yeah, I am pretty thrilled about overall. I haven't had a lot of neighbor issues and no real close neighbors. I have some neighbors that live over there. They've got some kids, so sometimes it gets a little kid noisy, but not too bad. But that's about the noisiest neighbors, and little kids are little kids, so I don't mind that. Um, let's see, back to my garden tour. This is a cauliflower that's looking really great, and this is a broccoli. It's also getting a little bit of bug damage on the leaves, so I definitely need to get that BT ordered because I don't think I actually ever hit the purchase button on Amazon. I thought I had ordered some in the past, and then what I ended up getting was the spinosad from the same company, Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew, which is the spinosad. And so I need to definitely get the BT so that hopefully I saw one worm like a couple weeks ago and I killed it, but obviously there's more, and you can't always see those little suckers because they blend right in with those leaves. So anyway, definitely gonna try to get that hopefully, and maybe by this weekend I can spray. Then the tomatoes in this garden bed. This is the Sunray tomato, which is a yellow style tomato. I thought it was like a yellow slicer style or size. I'm not sure the exact size of it, but I've got blooms on that. This is a sun gold yellow cherry. It's got some blooms, and then this here is also a sun gold, and I can see that it's got blooms. So hopefully it will be doing pretty well. This one here is Aroma that I had purchased, and I've got some blooms. And then this is a Sweetie. Both of these are actually Sweetie red cherry tomato style. And then this is my bed of mostly Romas and then a few Acre 55s. You remember these little plants here that were just super tiny way back on my first garden tour, and they were like purple and you couldn't hardly see them? Well, look at them go now. They really have done pretty well, and so I need to get some more fertilizer on them to hopefully help them out just a little bit longer. But all of these are looking good. I had some bug damage on this one, but it's pulled out and done just fine. Same way with this one. I had a little bit of some bugs eating some of the leaves, and you can tell I still do. But I had sprayed everything, and that kind of slowed everything down. Of course, then it's been raining, and I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. There's a deer across that. Let me see if I can zoom y'all in. Right there. Oh, she's kind of blurry. I don't think she'll come up any closer, but I definitely have a deer friend that lives back in those trees, especially with me out here. She won't come up. Anyway, oh, there she's turned sideways. He or she, I assume it's a she. She's gonna go on in the trees. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back in. Too many, it's two people. Oh, she's got a baby. She's got a baby. I figured she would have a baby. I just saw it when she walked. I saw it popping out of the weeds. I just saw this little dark brown thing. Oh, and I bet you they had babies last year. I was gonna see if you could see it hopping. I know my camera doesn't zoom in very good. And I don't think. Yep. Well, anyway, she had a baby with her, and it won't be able to see it, no doubt. I was on my iPhone, so I don't have a real good thing. But anyway, the deer are out, coyotes. It's welcome to the country. That's why I have a fence around my garden, is because of my little furry deer friend. I don't mind them. Like, I think they're a beautiful creature. I hate deer season, like when they're in the rut, because I don't want to hit any deer, and I guess I've hit two, and I just hate that because they do so much damage. But I think they're a beautiful animal, a beautiful creature, and they're so, I don't know, they're just like peaceful and relaxing to watch. So sometimes I'll sit in my sunroom and just, or even on my deck, and they'll come up in my yard on my deck. Um, the one was coming in and eating. I think it probably was the mama, but she didn't have the baby at the time, or the baby wasn't with her, one or the other. But they were coming in and eating my mulberries, of which the mulberries are pretty much done. I have got I got 4 different batches of them, and I have I had enough to make 3 batches of jelly. I had enough juice. I had like 16 cups of berries that I turned into 9 cups of juice. And mulberries are pretty strong, and that worked perfect. And I had 3 batches of jelly, and I got 15 jars. Well, actually 14. One of the batches had only 4 jars instead of 5, which was kind of odd. So I had 14 jars of sugar free. I made it sugar free, and I used a brand called um, it's Gentle Sweet. I was wanting to say sweet, and I knew that wasn't Gentle Sweet. Oh, my brain just kind of had a brain fart. But Gentle Sweet, and it turned into a great jelly. Anyway, it cooks like sugar pretty much. Okay, sorry, I'm little squirrely tonight, little ADD. I gotta get going so I can get my fertilizing done. Okay, so this is the mystery tomato. I don't know. I finally put a cage around it. That is another yellow cherry golden nugget is what it's called. This is another sunray. This is an Amish paste. We got blooms. And then this is a Dr. Witchy's, which is a yellow slicer, and I've also got blooms on it. And then I got 2 okra plants in there. Oh, and then I also planted okra on either sides of the squash, one right in there, and then one right down in here. And hopefully to be able to get some okra between this, I may try to pop in another plant or 2, because I don't think these broccolis and cauliflowers are going to do well long term, because it's getting warm, and I started them way too late. And they were all of these, like the broccolis and cabbages and cauliflowers and kohlrabis and Brussels sprouts. Those I know are cool weather loving crops, and they needed to be planted way earlier than I did. But anyway, then I have my whole row of tomatoes that I bought. All of these Romas. I had a couple that I went ahead and let fruit out. There's one, and here's another. And we got blooms on these, so we'll be getting fruit on these. I haven't done much pruning, which I really probably should. This here is a Beefmaster variety of a tomato. And then we got a Super Fantastic right here. It's got some blooms. And then we have a Supersonic. So both of those are big slicer style tomatoes as far as I know. So, all right, guys. So that's the garden tour, the good, the bad, the ugly. My flowers are doing good. I also added, as you can see, I got my stuff here for fertilizing. So I have been, last year I used in my green stalks this Fox Farm Grow Big, and it's like a 644 style, which is 6% nitrogen, 4% phosphate, and 4% soluble potash. And I just do a couple capfuls into my 2-gallon little container, and then I will probably do, I don't know if I'll do one, or oh, is that a bee? Was that a bee? That was a bee. I moved out here because the bees, last night I had these little things up by my house because these are hummingbird feeders, and I moved these out last night because I wanted to bring the bees to the garden and made sure they come to the garden. And I was hoping that they were going to find my little hummingbird feeder, at least something to attract them, because I want them to do their job right over there. Those are the only thing that need their assistance, because squash do not self-germinate. They have to have the pollinators to do it. That's also why I have my marigolds and petunias all trying to hopefully attract in the pollinators. So, got another maple tree. Story of my life. I've had lots of maple trees. So, all right, guys, I'm not going to show you the front of the garden. Well, the front of the house tonight, not the front of the garden. The front of the house. We'll go up real quick and show you the green stalks, just to give you a quick update. And then I've got to get out here. It's 8 o'clock. Got to get out here and try to fertilize. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I want to go ahead and get it fertilized tonight. So that way, if it rains tomorrow, it'll be okay. So my green stalks, the green beans up here, they are a a lot of them. I've got lots of blooms. So we'll have a few more beans up here. I have since learned that I could actually overplant I only did 3 per pocket, and I have learned you could actually plant 5 per pocket. So maybe next year. My herbs, as you can tell, are doing well. The basil is starting to do well. So yay for that. We've got thyme. Some of the thyme pockets are really doing well. Cilantro is kind of meh meh. It's doing its thing. Got some oregano down here in all these pockets. And then I have lemon balm down below, and it is starting to come in. Some of them have got more. Then I got some spearmint. The spearmint took a long time to come in, along with the holy basil. And that's a holy basil there. And then the rosemary along the bottom took a little bit of time to come in, but it came in faster than the spearmint. And then my peppers here are doing pretty good. I think they probably need a little more sunlight maybe than they're getting. We'll see how they do. Oops, sorry, I just totally bumped y'all. I had one serrano plant up here. I don't know what'll happen because it got bent off, and so it's got one little leaf. We'll see if it grows and produces any more. It might still. But if not, I got plenty of serranos. Then my jalapenos are in the second row. They're doing good. We got my Jimmy Nardellos down here in the third row. They're all looking good. And then my Sugar Rush peach peppers, and then my Hungarian hot wax along the bottom. I wanted to get the Hungarian hot wax because I have a recipe for, and I didn't use Hungarian hot wax in them last year. I did just jalapenos because that's what I could find at our store here. We don't have Hungarian hot wax in this town, but I wanted to grow some for some dilled green beans, basically, that we call dilly beans, and I love them. And I also make dilled carrots, and I use the same recipe for that, and I love the dilled carrots even better. So anyway, but so far green stalks are looking pretty good. I'm going to try to fertilize them as well, so we'll get everything all fertilized. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little garden tour. My flowers are looking well, and then there's my little kitty cat, Zoe Bell. She lives inside with me and doesn't get to come out, and she's much distressed because she wants to come out. Yeah, I know. Mama hasn't been home for long, and I came right out to the garden. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'm going to try to get this up. It's been a hot minute since I've had a garden tour up, so I'm going to try to get one up this week for sure. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you soon in the next garden tour. Bye, friends.